Hello, I'm Katerina Universal, and on this channel I share my mind. Today the topic is distancing away. This is something that doesn't need explanation, you know it all, because maybe not everybody does, but everybody knows about strong recommendation to do it now. This is why I decided to talk about it, because I'm doing it and I observe the difference in my life. I'm pretty much sure you also have that difference, but I'm not sure you know it. So I invite you to share my mind. Well, distancing happens now from our daily activities. We are so much used to be outside of our home, first of all at work, then also outside of work. There we are involved in all different activities, like walking, watching, like window browsing, shopping, choosing something, consuming, meeting people, talking to people, arranging, organizing, always doing something. We do all those activities with our physical body, but we do it unknowingly in our mind. I made already another video, my previous video, where I said that the virus is making us closer to meditation. It is teaching us meditation. So here, in a way, I continue the same idea. The activities that we perform with our physical body, the activities that we perform verbally, and there are also activities which we perform mentally. So actually, the meditation is when we abandon all of these activities, when we permit ourselves to do nothing. So have a look. What is happening now is that we are separated, we are forcefully separated from a number of those activities where our body is involved physically. We are so much used to go, walk, stand somewhere, look at something, discuss something, buy, touch. So many actions, but we never know those actions. This means we never know our life. And what is happening now is the opportunity to know. We are separated from everything that we do so easily that we actually take for granted. Now we started appreciating just simple liberty to be outside in the city, to go to places, to meet people. We started appreciating it. I'm pretty much sure the day that the quarantine is announced as off and we are allowed freely, safely to go out, we will rejoice in joining everything that we are missing now. But I'm pretty much sure that it will not last long. We are going to forget. This is the nature of our ignorant mind, to fall into forgetfulness. We will forget to appreciate our life. This is why now I'm recording this talk, to bring your attention now to something that we still do have, but we don't appreciate. We should learn to appreciate life. We have our life, we have a place to stay, and let's go to the foundation of all. We have our breath. It is exactly with the breath that those who catch the virus experience the problem now. You probably learned to appreciate the freedom, as I described already, being out, being active. But have you learned to appreciate your breath? And breath is the anchor of meditation. It is the breath of practice of meditation, because meditation itself is based on mindfulness, but we develop mindfulness anchored to the breath. Because it is always there, we can always develop our concentration with it. But I don't go now into the details of meditation practice, where I invite you to join me in my evening sessions that I do twice per week in English, twice per week in Russian. Drop me an email and I will join you in the group. This is absolutely free. But now still I want to speak more simple language, accessible to all, not only to those who search for deeper understanding. And I want to tell you that in this moment, what we can do is something that we can do with ourselves. We are a step away from deeper connection with ourselves. Why I say this step away? Because those physical activities, habitual physical activities, have been stopped, have been forced to be stopped. Those activities with our eyes, watching here and there, everywhere where we visit. So we have habit of going, walking. We have habit of seeing things. We have habit of listening to so much of everything happening around, in the transport and our music and talking to friends and meeting. We are restricted from that, but we are not restricted from social networking. This is where we give now so much of our attention, energy, and this is where we exercise now the activity that is restricted with the body, as I said, restricted with the eyes. These are all the organs of perception. Through this body we can understand the happening. Through this body we interact in this life and get experience for our soul, our I, our self, our that one who can know, who can observe. Our problem is that we don't know. Now is the chance to know. So what is left now is our verbal activity. Well, we do it on writing. I do it on speaking also. But I want to pay your attention that I started distancing myself away, not only from people and places, but also from any activity in social network, any activity in mass media, or any energies, that may involve me and of course will distract my mindfulness, where I'm not that strong yet. And of course I will lose this opportunity to be closer to myself and to know the real happening. Because whatever happens outside, the truth of happening is only inside of each and every one, because each and every one perceives it differently. So I distance myself away even from the groups that I created myself. I have a group on Facebook, I have my video blog, even here I appear more rarely now, because I distance myself away from active happening. I try to take a step outside and be the observer, be the knower. This is how I got these ideas actually. What I'm sharing now with you, this is what I observed in my life happening. That I'm distancing away not only from people because I'm afraid of catching the disease or something, not at all. I'm distancing out of my choice to be one with all the people, to be one with all the world, to be one with this necessity which is happening now. But then I also choose to distance myself away from this egregor this strong power of discussing, of giving ideas, of questioning, of doubting. This is natural to be not sure. Because actually, when we are sure, we have that feeling of control. But that is not what we want in life. We don't have to control something from outside. We have to be sure and secure inside ourselves. So instead of trying to be sure in something which can still be mistaken and mislead us, we should try to distance away from making any opinion. In order to distance away from our own opinion, we need to distance away from those who actively just pour the rain of thoughts, thinking, gossiping, some assumptions, fear, expressing from, I don't know from where. I don't feel any fear, I don't feel any panic. I know that somebody tells that it exists. Don't be afraid you will miss something important. The important thing will reach you this way or another. You are still in the society. But don't involve yourself that much into that activity, because have a look. Life separated us from so many activities. And this is the only activity mental, and then we still try to express it through verbal. Verbal is typing in this era of technologies. This is typing. How much time do you spend on social networks and all these sources of information? Well, I'm the one who also shares now, and if you are listening to this, it means I'm telling you, distance yourself away. Well, if you distance yourself away from everything, and then it means including me, this is still better rather than staying with everything including me. But you can be picky, you can have a filter. This is very strong habit to follow all discussions. Try to detach from it. The best we can do now is to cooperate. Cooperation means not just staying at home. Cooperation means knowing the condition happening and then acting with the nature. This is the nature which is bringing us the conditions. You can say this is someone, this is some power caused by some people, by some animals, by whatever else, but they are the instruments of the nature. Everything is happening naturally. So just cooperate with the nature, then you will not need to resist it, to struggle. You will feel much more tuned with this flow. I'm not imagining, I'm telling you how I feel it. And I also learn, I also listen to plentiful teachings now from different masters, and it resonates a lot. And as they're big masters talking about big things, I'm a small person here with my little but deep and important understanding, so I try to share at this level. So try to appreciate, learn to appreciate what you still have, this breath. If you learn now to appreciate the breath, you will rooten, if we can say this verb in English, you will deepen the root of appreciation of your life. Because if you just live this time now, waiting for the next moment, this is how you will spend all your life. You will constantly wait for next moment. And you will miss the present moment which is already happening. As soon as you will be able to go out and have all things back, you will appreciate them for 1 day, for 2 days, if you learned to appreciate now. But you will fall back into forgetfulness. This is the nature of the ignorant mind, as I said. So learn to appreciate now. Appreciate the time that you have. Appreciate every breath that you have. First time ever in your life, pay attention that you have the breath. And this is not something to take for granted. And life shows this to us now. And learn to meditate, maybe. Or at least do something, whatever you're ready for, but do a small change in your life. This is what the nature calls for now. We are closing one period and the results are coming. The results will be depending on us. As I already said, that every happening is different for each one, because every happening depends on the perception of each one. So the results of this period will be as you create them. Don't wait for results later in the future. Make them happen now, with your action now. Whatever you are making now, let it be already the result. The result of doing differently, acting differently. Be healthy, be happy.